The Oregon dawn broke over Willow Creek Sanctuary, its misty trails winding through the Cascade Mountains, where pines whispered secrets and wildflowers painted the forest floor. Dr. Sarah Lawson stood outside the sanctuary's kennel, her silver hair tucked under a cap, hazel eyes sharp despite her 70 years. A retired biologist, Sarah had poured her life into this haven for rescued wildlife, but today her focus was on Luna, a German shepherd they'd saved from an illegal trafficking ring 2 years ago. Luna paced inside her enclosure, her black and tan coat sleek, but her movements restless, a low whine escaping her. It was April 2025, and the sanctuary, a 200-acre refuge, hummed with the quiet urgency of spring. Until Luna's unexpected labor turned it into a crucible of hope and dread. Sarah's breath caught, tears pricking her eyes as she watched Luna paw at the soft bedding in her den box. "She's early," she muttered, her voice rough, glancing at her phone. Luna's pregnancy, sired by Shadow, a male shepherd rescued from a poaching camp, wasn't due for weeks. Sarah dialed Dr. Ethan Brooks, the sanctuary's 50-year-old veterinarian, her voice tense. "Ethan, get here now." "Luna's in labor. Way too soon." Ethan's reply was sharp, tears audible. "Premature? I'm 15 minutes out." "Prep the clinic, Sarah." Sarah's hands shook, tears glinting, as she grabbed a medical kit, Luna's whines echoing like a call to arms. The sanctuary was Sarah's legacy, built to protect creatures like Luna, who'd arrived malnourished, her amber eyes haunted by captivity. Months of care had restored her strength, and her bond with Shadow, tentative at first, then fierce, had surprised the team. "She's a fighter," Sarah often said, tears hidden, watching Luna reclaim her spirit. But now, as Luna crouched, panting heavily, Sarah's gut twisted, tears falling. The trafficking ring that once held Luna had been linked to pet thefts across Oregon and whispers of their return. Black vans, strange tracks near the sanctuary, had put everyone on edge. "Hang in there, girl," Sarah whispered, tears streaming, kneeling by the enclosure. Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, arrived, her dark hair in a messy bun, tears in her eyes as she set up a camera to monitor Luna. "She's strong, Sarah," Emily said, voice trembling, adjusting the feed. "But this early?" Sarah's voice was raw, tears glinting. "Too early, Em. Where's Ethan?" Luna's growl turned to a plaintive yowl, her body contracting, and Sarah's heart raced, tears falling. The first pup emerged, a tiny, squirming bundle, healthy and strong. Sarah's tears mixed with a smile, voice soft. "Good girl, Luna." 4 more followed, each cleaned by Luna's careful licks, their squeaks filling the enclosure with life. Ethan burst in, his flannel shirt rumpled, gray eyes wide, tears glinting as he dropped his vet bag. "5 already?" he said, voice thick, kneeling by the enclosure. "She's a champ, Sarah." Luna's labor continued, 3 more pups arriving, each robust, their spotted coats drying under Luna's care. But as the 9th pup began, Luna's yowls turned desperate, her body straining, eyes wild with pain. "Something's wrong," Ethan said, tears falling, voice urgent, grabbing his gloves. "This one's stuck." Sarah's tears streamed, voice breaking. "Save her, Ethan. Save them." Luna pushed, a final heart-wrenching yowl echoing, and the 9th pup emerged. Tiny, translucent, motionless, its jaw deformed, barely alive. Ethan's scream tore through the sanctuary, tears streaming as he lifted the fragile pup, his voice raw. It's alive, but look at this." The pup's jaw and palate were malformed, a congenital defect threatening its survival. Sarah's sob caught, tears falling, clutching Emily's arm. "Can you save it?" she choked, voice trembling. Luna licked the pup, her amber eyes pleading, but Ethan's tears fell, voice grim. "It's critical, Sarah. We need the clinic, now." Titan's chipped collar, a remnant of her trafficking days, glinted in the dawn, and Sarah's gut twisted, tears streaming. The ring's shadow loomed, their threats real. "Give us the dogs, or the sanctuary burns." The twist hit like a mountain wind. Sarah's phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "Hand over the litter, Lawson, or we take it all." Attached was a grainy photo of Luna's enclosure, taken hours ago, a black van in the background, its license plate clear. Claire's blood froze, tears streaming, showing Ethan. "They're here," she whispered, voice raw, Luna's growl a fierce echo. Emily's tears fell, voice shaking. "They want her pups?" Titan's massive form stood guard, his marine instincts flaring, and Sarah knew the 9th pup wasn't just a miracle, it was a target, and Luna's fight was only beginning in a truth that would stun Willow Creek. Willow Creek Sanctuary nestled in the misty embrace of Oregon's Cascade Mountains, its pine trails and wildflower meadows a haven for the broken and the wild. In the sanctuary's clinic, Dr. Sarah Lawson leaned against a counter, her silver hair tucked under a cap, hazel eyes heavy with exhaustion and hope. At 70, Sarah's retired biologist's hands steadied a clipboard, but her heart raced from yesterday's chaos. Luna, their rescued German shepherd, had given birth to 9 pups. The 9th, Aspen, a fragile anomaly with a deformed jaw, barely clinging to life. It was April 2025, and the sanctuary, a 200-acre refuge, buzzed with the weight of a miracle and a threat. A cartel trafficking ring, once Luna's captors, had sent a chilling text. "Hand over the litter, Lawson," with a photo of Luna's enclosure. A black van lurking. Sarah's tears pricked. The memory of Luna's desperate yowls and Aspen's translucent form, searing her soul. Dr. Ethan Brooks, the 50-year-old veterinarian, worked at a warming station, his gray eyes focused, tears glinting as he tube-fed Aspen, the pup's tiny chest rising faintly. "He's fighting," Ethan said, voice thick, adjusting the incubator. "But that jaw, it's bad, Sarah." Sarah's voice trembled, tears hidden. "He's Luna's, Ethan. We don't give up on her family." Luna, saved from a Tennessee trafficking bust, had arrived starved, her amber eyes haunted. Shadow, a male shepherd rescued from poachers, had bonded with her, their love a quiet triumph. Until now, with Aspen's survival and the cartel's shadow looming. Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, burst in, her dark hair in a messy bun, tears in her eyes as she clutched a tablet. "Luna's okay, but she's restless," she said, voice shaking, showing a live feed of the enclosure. Luna paced, her black and tan coat sleek, 8 healthy pups nursing, but her eyes flicked to the clinic, as if sensing Aspen's absence. Sarah's tears fell, voice raw. "She knows he's missing, Em. We've got to keep her calm." The sanctuary was Sarah's life, built to protect creatures like Luna, but Red Rock Valley's whispers, pet thefts, black vans, had grown louder, and the cartel's reach felt suffocating. Ethan set down the feeding tube, tears streaming, his voice low. "That text, they're watching us, Sarah." "Why the pups?" Sarah's gut twisted, tears glinting, recalling Luna's chipped collar, a trafficking relic. "They never let her go," she said, voice breaking. "Her chip's still active, Ethan." They're tracking her. Emily's eyes widened, tears falling. Tracking? Like, now? Sarah nodded, tears streaming, pulling out her phone to call Sheriff Ben Torres, a 55-year-old with a steady calm. Ben, that van from the photo, it's cartel, she said, voice urgent, tears in her tone. Ben's reply was grim, tears audible. They're hitting sanctuaries, Sarah. Your banks flagged their accounts. Keep Luna's litter close. The clinic's sterile calm clashed with the sanctuary's wild heart, its trails a refuge for animals like Shadow, whose strength had healed Luna's spirit. She's a mother now, Sarah said, tears falling, watching the feed as Luna licked her pups, her amber eyes searching. Ethan's voice was soft, tears glinting. Aspen's a fighter like her, but we need surgery, soon. Emily's tablet pinged, showing a new camera angle, a faint shadow near the enclosure, gone in a blink. Was that someone? She asked, tears streaming, voice trembling. Sarah's heart stopped, tears falling, grabbing a flashlight. We're checking it now. Outside, the misty air clung to Sarah's skin, tears mixing with dew as she, Ethan, and Emily approached the enclosure. Luna's growl a low warning. Scout, a sanctuary German shepherd, trotted beside them, his ears pinned, sniffing the ground. Good boy, Ethan said, tears hidden, patting Scout's flank. The enclosure was secure, but Scout froze, growling at a patch of dirt, a hidden tracker, its red light blinking, buried near Luna's den. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. They're here, she said, kneeling, her hands shaking as she dug it up. Emily's voice was a whisper, tears falling. They want her pups. Why Aspen? The sanctuary's peace was a lie. Red Rock Valley's cartel activity, poaching, trafficking, now a direct threat. Sarah's bank, handling sanctuary funds, had flagged cartel accounts, linking her to Luna's past. They're not just after money, Sarah said, tears streaming, clutching the tracker. They want her litter. Aegis experiments, Ethan. Ethan's eyes widened, tears falling. The serum on dogs? Sarah nodded, tears glinting, Luna's chip a haunting clue. They made her a tracker, and now her pups. The twist hit like a cascade gust. Scout's bark shattered the silence, his nose pointing to the clinic where a faint beep sounded, a second tracker hidden in Aspen's incubator, its signal pulsing. Sarah's blood froze, tears streaming, rushing back, Ethan's voice raw. They're targeting him. Emily's tears fell, voice shaking. Aspen. Because he's different? Luna's howl echoed from the enclosure, a mother's plea, and Sarah's tears streamed, clutching the tablet, its feed showing a black van idling at the sanctuary's gate, its headlights cutting through the mist. Willow Creek was no longer a haven. It was a battleground, and Sarah knew Luna's 9th pup was a secret the cartel would kill to claim. In a truth that would stun them all, the Willow Creek Sanctuary was cloaked in the pre-dawn mist of Oregon's Cascade Mountains, its pine trails and wildflower meadows shrouded in an eerie hush, the air heavy with the scent of damp earth and danger. Dr. Sarah Lawson stood outside Luna's enclosure, her silver hair damp under a cap, hazel eyes red-rimmed from sleepless nights. At 70, Sarah's retired biologist's hands gripped a flashlight, her heart still racing from the chaos of Luna's premature labor 2 days ago. A litter of 9 German shepherd pups, the 9th Aspen, born with a malformed jaw, barely alive. Now, the sanctuary, a 200-acre refuge, was a battleground, the cartel trafficking ring that once held Luna sending chilling threats. Hand over the litter, Lawson, backed by trackers found near Luna's den and in Aspen's incubator. It was April 2025, and Sarah's tears pricked, Luna's desperate yowls and Aspen's fragile form haunting her. Inside the clinic, Dr. Ethan Brooks, the 50-year-old veterinarian, monitored Aspen, his gray eyes focused, tears glinting as he adjusted the pup's oxygen mask, its tiny chest fluttering. "He's hanging on," Ethan said, voice thick, wiping sweat from his brow. "But that defect, it's worse than we thought, Sarah." Sarah's voice trembled, tears streaming. "He's Luna's, Ethan. We fight for him." Luna, rescued from a Tennessee trafficking bust, had been a shadow of herself, starved, terrified, until Shadow, a male shepherd saved from poachers, brought her back to life. Their bond had birthed this litter, but Aspen's survival was a miracle under siege. Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, sat at a monitor, her dark hair in a messy bun, tears in her eyes as she reviewed enclosure footage. "Luna's pacing again," she said, voice shaking, showing a live feed. Luna's black and tan coat gleamed, 8 healthy pups nursing, but her amber eyes darted to the clinic, her whines a mother's plea for Aspen. Sarah's tears fell, voice raw. "She feels him, Em. We can't lose her trust." The sanctuary was Sarah's soul, but Red Rock Valley's cartel activity, pet thefts, black vans, had escalated, and the trackers confirmed Luna was still their prey. "Why Aspen?" Sarah asked, tears streaming, clutching the tracker from the incubator. "What's so special about him?" Ethan set down the oxygen mask, tears falling, voice low. "That chip in Luna's collar, it's broadcasting, Sarah." "Cartel tech, tied to Aegis. They doped her litter. Experiments, maybe on Aspen." Sarah's gut twisted, tears glinting, recalling Luna's rescue, her chipped collar a trafficking relic. "They're after her pups?" she choked, voice breaking. Emily's tablet pinged, showing new footage. A figure in black, near the enclosure, planting another tracker, gone in seconds. "They're back," Emily whispered, tears streaming, voice trembling. Sarah's heart pounded, tears falling, dialing Sheriff Ben Torres, her voice urgent. "Ben, we've got another tracker. Cartel's closing in." Ben's reply was grim, tears audible. "They're targeting sanctuaries, Sarah. Your bank's their money hub. I'm sending deputies." The clinic's sterile glow clashed with the sanctuary's wild heart, its trails a refuge for Shadow, whose strength had healed Luna. "She's a mother," Sarah said, tears streaming, watching Luna's feed, her pups squirming, unaware of the threat. Ethan's voice was grim, tears glinting. "Aspen needs surgery, yesterday." "But the cartel, they're not just after codes, Sarah. They want the litter, Aegis data." Emily's eyes widened, tears falling. "Data? In Aspen?" Sarah nodded, tears streaming, the tracker's blinking light a taunt. "They chipped Luna to track her, and now her pups are their prize." Scout, a sanctuary German shepherd, growled at the clinic door, his ears pinned, sniffing the air. "What's got you, boy?" Ethan asked, tears hidden, opening the door to a misty trail. Scout bolted, leading them to a fence line, a third tracker buried in the dirt, its signal pulsing to a Nogales server. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "They're everywhere," she said, clutching the device, her hands shaking. Emily's voice was a sob, tears falling. "They'll take them, Sarah! Luna, Aspen, all of them!" Ethan's tears streamed, voice fierce. "Not while we're breathing." "We need Tara. She's our eyes." Tara Evans, a 35-year-old investigative journalist, arrived, her red hair tied back, tears in her eyes as she set up a laptop. "I've been tracking PineNet," she said, voice trembling, showing encrypted files. The cartel's hitting sanctuaries for doped animals. Aegis serum, military grade. Luna's litter. They're test subjects. Sarah's blood ran cold, tears streaming. Test subjects? My dogs? Tara's tears fell, voice raw. Aspen's defect. It's not natural. Aegis caused it, Sarah. They want him. Alive. Luna's howl pierced the dawn, a mother's fury, and Sarah's tears streamed, clutching Ethan's arm. We save him, Ethan, no matter what. The twist hit like a mountain quake. Scout's bark erupted, his nose pointing to Luna's enclosure, where a faint glow pulsed. A fourth tracker, hidden in the den's bedding, wired to a camera streaming live to Pine Net. But the feed showed more. A man in a sanctuary jacket, planting the device, his face clear. Dr. Mark Ellis, a former donor, long gone from Willow Creek. Sarah's scream tore free, tears streaming. Ellis. He's with them? Ethan's tears fell, voice raw. He funded Aegis, Sarah. He's not just a donor, he's their scientist. Emily's sob was raw, tears streaming. He's been here, watching Aspen. Luna's growl shook the enclosure, her pups stirring, and Sarah's tears streamed, clutching the tablet, its feed showing a black van at the sanctuary's edge, headlights cutting through the mist. Willow Creek was a trap, and Sarah knew Aspen's birth was no accident, but a cartel secret that would stun them all. The Willow Creek Sanctuary was a fortress under siege, its misty trails and pine-clad hills in Oregon's Cascade Mountains shrouded in the gray dawn of April 2025. Dr. Sarah Lawson stood frozen outside Luna's enclosure, her silver hair damp with mist, hazel eyes streaming tears as she clutched a cartel tracker, its red light pulsing like a heartbeat. At 70, Sarah's retired biologist's hands shook, the weight of Luna's litter, 9 German Shepherd pups, the 9th, Aspen, born with a malformed jaw, now a target for a trafficking ring that once held Luna captive. 3 trackers, one in Aspen's incubator, confirmed the cartel's reach, and a chilling video showed Dr. Mark Ellis, a former sanctuary donor, planting a camera in Luna's den, tied to Pine Net's Aegis experiments. The sanctuary, a 200-acre haven, was no longer safe, and Sarah's tears fell, Luna's desperate howls echoing in her soul. Inside the clinic, Dr. Ethan Brooks, the 50-year-old veterinarian, worked frantically over Aspen, his gray eyes wide, tears glinting as he adjusted the pup's warming pad, its translucent body barely moving. He's fading, Sarah, Ethan said, voice raw, tears streaming. That defect, it's Aegis. We need surgery, but he's too weak. Sarah's sob tore free, tears falling, her voice breaking. He's Luna's, Ethan. We can't lose him. Luna, rescued from a Tennessee trafficking bust, had been a ghost, starved, terrified, until Shadow, a male shepherd, brought her back. Their litter was a miracle, but Aspen's survival hung by a thread, and the cartel's threats, hand over the litter, made it a battle. Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, monitored Luna's enclosure on a tablet, her dark hair loose, tears in her eyes. She's frantic, Emily said, voice trembling, showing Luna pacing, 8 healthy pups nursing, but her amber eyes locked on the clinic, whining for Aspen. She knows he's slipping, Sarah. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. She's fighting for him, Em. We have to match her. The sanctuary was Sarah's life, but Red Rock Valley's cartel activity, pet thefts, black vans, had turned it into a war zone. Tara Evans, a 35-year-old journalist tracking PineNet, had confirmed Ellis's role, her voice grim over the phone. He's their scientist, Sarah. Aegis doped Luna's litter. Aspen's defect is their experiment. Sarah's heart pounded, tears falling, clutching the tracker. They want him. For what? She choked, voice shaking. Ethan's tears streamed, voice low. Data, Sarah. His chip. It's streaming Aegis results. They'll kill for it. Scout, a sanctuary German shepherd, growled at the clinic door, his ears pinned, sniffing the air. What's wrong, boy? Ethan asked, tears hidden, opening the door to a misty trail. Scout bolted, leading them to a fence, a fourth tracker, wired to a motion sensor, its signal pulsing to Nogales. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. They're closing in, she said, ripping it free, her hands shaking. Sheriff Ben Torres, a 55-year-old with a steady calm, arrived with deputies, his badge glinting, tears in his eyes. We've got roadblocks up, he said, voice grim, gripping his radio. But Ellis is here, somewhere. Sarah's gut twisted, tears streaming, showing Ben the video of Ellis. He was family, Ben, she said, voice breaking. How's he with them? Ben's tears fell, voice low. Money, Sarah. PineNet's billions. Ellis sold out. Luna's howl shook the enclosure, a mother's fury, and Sarah's tears streamed, clutching Emily's arm. We protect her pups, Ben. No matter what. The enclosure was a fortress, but the misty dawn hid predators. Emily's tablet pinged, a new feed showing a black van breaching the sanctuary's gate, operatives in black masks spilling out, rifles glinting with night-fang crescents. They're here! Emily screamed, tears streaming, voice trembling. Sarah's heart stopped, tears falling, grabbing a tranquilizer gun. Lock the clinic! She yelled, voice raw, but Luna's bark was deafening, her massive form lunging at the enclosure's mesh, jaws snapping as operatives approached, their flashlights slicing the mist. Stay back, Ethan shouted, tears streaming, firing a warning dart. But operatives smashed the enclosure lock, one grabbing a pup, healthy, squirming. Luna roared, jaws crushing the man's arm, the pup dropping unharmed. Sarah fired, a dart hitting another operative, tears falling, voice fierce. You're not taking them! Scout charged, tackling a third, his growl a war cry. But a fourth operative aimed at Luna, a live round glinting. Emily dove, tears streaming, shoving the pup to safety, voice raw. Luna, no! Ben's deputies fired, downing the shooter, tears glinting. But the van revved, operatives retreating, their leader shouting. The ninth pup! We'll be back! Claire collapsed against the enclosure, tears streaming, clutching Sophie, who'd run from the clinic, tears falling. They wanted Aspen, Sophie sobbed, voice shaking, hugging Luna's fur. Ethan's voice was grim, tears streaming, checking the pups. They got nothing, but they'll try again. Ben's radio crackled, a deputy's voice urgent. Van's headed to a hideout, 10 miles out. Tara burst in, tears falling, laptop open. Ellis is there, she said, voice raw, showing a PineNet log, safe house coordinates, guard posts, and a chilling note. Aspen, primary asset. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. Primary asset? He's a pup. The twist hit like a cascade landslide. Luna's chip beeped, pulling a hidden file. A video, time-stamped yesterday, showing Ellis at the sanctuary, injecting a caged pup with Aegis. But a second figure emerged. Doctor. Lisa Bennett, Ethan's mentor, thought retired, her face cold. Sarah's blood froze, tears streaming, turning to Ethan, whose face crumpled, tears falling. Lisa? He choked, voice breaking. She's PineNet? Tara's voice was fierce, tears streaming. She designed Aegis, Ethan. She's Ellis's partner. Luna's howl was primal, her pup stirring, and Sarah's tears streamed, clutching the tablet, its feed showing the van's tail lights fading into the mist. Willow Creek was a cartel snare, and Sarah knew Aspen's defect was a secret they'd kill to keep, in a truth that would stun them all. The Willow Creek Sanctuary was a battlefield shrouded in the misty dawn of Oregon's Cascade Mountains, its pine trails and wildflower meadows scarred by the violence of a cartel raid. Dr. Sarah Lawson stood in the bullet-riddled enclosure, her silver hair matted with sweat, hazel eyes streaming tears as she clutched a broken tracker, its red light dead but its threat alive. At 70, Sarah's retired biologist's hands trembled, the weight of Luna's litter. 9 German Shepherd pups, the 9th, Aspen, born with a malformed jaw, now a cartel target. The trafficking ring that once caged Luna had breached the sanctuary last night, their black vans and Night Fang operatives thwarted by Luna's ferocity and Scout's courage. But their chilling promise echoed. "We'll be back for the 9th pup." It was April 2025, and the 200-acre refuge was a trap, with Dr. Mark Ellis and Dr. Lisa Bennett, former allies, revealed as PineNet's architects, their Aegis serum experiments tied to Aspen's defect. Inside the clinic, Dr. Ethan Brooks, the 50-year-old veterinarian, hovered over Aspen, his gray eyes bloodshot, tears glinting as he adjusted the pup's feeding tube, its translucent body twitching faintly. "He's slipping, Sarah," Ethan said, voice raw, tears streaming. "The jaw! It's Aegis! It's killing him!" Sarah's sob tore free, tears falling, her voice breaking. "He's Luna's, Ethan." "We save him." Luna, rescued from a Tennessee trafficking bust, had been a ghost, starved, terrified, until Shadow, a male shepherd, restored her spirit. Their litter was a miracle, but Aspen's survival was a war, and the cartel's trackers, 4 now, 1 in Luna's den, confirmed their obsession with him. Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, sat at a monitor, her dark hair loose, tears in her eyes as she rewatched the raid footage. "Luna's exhausted," she said, voice trembling, showing Luna curled around her 8 healthy pups, her amber eyes haunted, searching for Aspen. "She's fighting for him, Sarah." Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "She's a mother, Em." "We can't let her down." The sanctuary was Sarah's heart, but Red Rock Valley's cartel activity, pet thefts, black vans, had turned it into a kill zone. Tara Evans, a 35-year-old journalist, pored over PineNet files, her red hair tied back, tears falling. "Ellis and Lisa, they're running Aegis," she said, voice grim, laptop open. "Aspen's defect. It's their data, Sarah. They'll burn this place to get him." Sarah's heart pounded, tears streaming, clutching the latest tracker. "Why him?" she choked, voice shaking. Ethan's tears fell, voice low. "His chip. It's streaming Aegis results. Real time. They need him alive. For proof." Scout, a sanctuary German shepherd, growled at the clinic window, his ears pinned, sniffing the air. "What's got you, boy?" Ethan asked, tears hidden, peering into the mist. Scout bolted, leading them to a trail, a 5th tracker, wired to a camera, its lens glinting in the dawn, streaming to Nogales. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "They're watching us," she said, smashing it, her hands shaking. Sheriff Ben Torres, a 55-year-old with a steady calm, coordinated deputies outside, his badge glinting, tears in his eyes. "Ellis's hideout's 10 miles out," he said, voice grim, gripping his radio. "Feds are prepping a raid, but Lisa's off-grid." Sarah's gut twisted, tears streaming, showing Ben the video of Lisa injecting Aegis. "She trained me, Ben," Ethan said, tears falling, voice breaking. "How's she with them?" Ben's tears glinted, voice low. "Power, Ethan." "PineNet's billions. She sold her soul." Luna's growl echoed from the enclosure, a mother's defiance, and Sarah's tears streamed, clutching Emily's arm. "We protect Aspen, Ben, no matter what." The clinic's sterile hum clashed with the sanctuary's wild pulse, its trails a refuge for Shadow, whose bond had birthed this litter. "She's a warrior," Sarah said, tears streaming, watching Luna's feed, her pup squirming, unaware of the cartel's shadow. Ethan's voice was urgent, tears glinting. "Aspen needs surgery. Now." But the cartel, they'll hit again. Tara's laptop pinged, showing a new pine net log, hideout schematics, guard posts, and a note. "Aspen, prototype failure, retrieve at all costs." Sarah's tears fell, voice raw. "Failure! He's fighting to live!" Scout's bark shattered the dawn, his nose pointing to the enclosure's fence, where a faint hum sounded. A drone, its camera glinting, hovering over Luna's den. "Down!" Ben yelled, tears falling, firing a shot, the drone crashing in sparks. Tara's voice was fierce, tears streaming. "They're testing us!" Emily's tablet flashed, a live feed from the hideout. Ellis and Lisa loading Aegis crates, their faces cold. "They're moving!" Emily sobbed, tears falling, voice trembling. "They want Aspen! Tonight!" Sarah's heart stopped, tears streaming, grabbing a tranquilizer gun. "We're not losing him," she said, voice fierce, but headlights flared. A black van crashing through the sanctuary's gate, operatives spilling out, rifles glinting. "Luna!" Sarah screamed, tears streaming, sprinting to the enclosure, but operatives breached the fence, one aiming at the den. Luna roared, jaws snapping, shielding her pups, but a dart hit her flank, her growl faltering. Scout charged, tackling the shooter, his teeth a vice, but a second operative grabbed a healthy pup, bolting for the van. Emily fired a dart, tears streaming, voice raw. "Not her babies!" Ethan tackled the man, tears falling, the pup dropping unharmed, but Lisa emerged from the van, her 60-year-old face icy, a pistol raised. "The 9th, Lawson!" she barked, tears absent. Sarah's tears streamed, voice fierce. "You'll never touch him!" The twist hit like a cascade avalanche. Luna's chip beeped, pulling a new file. A video, time-stamped hours ago, showing Lisa at the sanctuary, injecting Aspen's litter with Aegis. But a third figure appeared. Sheriff Ben Torres, his badge glinting, overseeing the dose. Sarah's blood froze, tears streaming, turning to Ben, whose face crumpled, tears falling. "Ben?" she choked, voice breaking, gun raised. "Your pine net?" Ben's sob tore free, tears streaming, hands up. "No, Sarah. I was undercover, years ago, tracking Lisa. I swore to stop her." Ethan's voice was raw, tears streaming. "You knew about Aegis?" Ben's tears fell, voice fierce. "I'm clean, Ethan. Scout trusts me." The dog's growl softened, his eyes on Ben, a Marine's bond unbroken. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "Prove it, Ben. Save Aspen." The van roared, operatives advancing, and Sarah knew Luna's 9th pup was a cartel key, in a truth that would stun them all. The Willow Creek Sanctuary was a war zone cloaked in the gray mist of Oregon's Cascade Mountains, its pine trails and wildflower meadows scarred by a cartel raid that had shaken the dawn. "Doctor." Sarah Lawson crouched behind a stack of crates in the sanctuary's kennel, her silver hair damp with sweat, hazel eyes streaming tears as she gripped a tranquilizer gun, its cold metal grounding her racing heart. At 70, Sarah's retired biologist's hands trembled, the weight of Luna's litter. 9 German Shepherd pups, the 9th, Aspen, born with a malformed jaw, now a cartel obsession. The trafficking ring, Pine Net, had breached the sanctuary. their Night Fang operatives, thwarted by Luna's ferocity. But their leader, Dr. Lisa Bennett and former donor Dr. Mark Ellis had exposed a chilling truth. Aspen's defect was an Aegis serum byproduct, and Sheriff Ben Torres's past undercover role with them cast a shadow of doubt. It was April 2025, and the 200-acre refuge was a battlefield with Luna's howls and the cartel's threat. The ninth pup, ringing in Sarah's ears. Inside the clinic, Dr. Ethan Brooks, the 50-year-old veterinarian, worked over Aspen, his gray eyes bloodshot, tears streaming as he adjusted the pup's oxygen, its fragile body barely stirring. "He's critical, Sarah," Ethan said, voice raw, tears falling. "Surgery's our only shot, but he's too weak." Sarah's sob tore free, tears streaming, her voice breaking. "He's Luna's, Ethan. We don't give up." Luna, saved from a Tennessee trafficking bust, had been a shell until Shadow, a male shepherd, revived her spirit. Their litter was a miracle, but Aspen's survival was a war, and the cartel's trackers, 5 now, 1 in Luna's den, marked them as prey. Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, monitored Luna's enclosure, her dark hair loose, tears in her eyes as she clutched a tablet. "She's fading," Emily said, voice trembling, showing Luna slumped, 8 pups nursing, her amber eyes dull from a tranquilizer dart. "She fought for them, Sarah." Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "She's a mother, Em. We match her fight." Tara Evans, a 35-year-old journalist, typed frantically on her laptop, tears falling, her red hair tied back. "Ellis's hideout, 10 miles out," she said, voice grim, showing pine net schematics. "They're moving Aegis crates tonight, Sarah. Aspen's their key." Sarah's heart pounded, tears streaming, clutching the latest tracker, its camera lens shattered but its signal haunting. "Why him?" she choked, voice shaking. Tara's tears fell, voice low. "His chip, it's streaming. Aegis, data, live." "They need him to perfect the serum." Scout, a sanctuary German shepherd, growled at the clinic door, his ears pinned, sniffing the mist. "What's wrong, boy?" Ethan asked, tears hidden, peering out. Scout bolted, leading them to a trail, a 6th tracker wired to a motion sensor, its signal pulsing to Nogales. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "They're circling us," she said, crushing it, her hands shaking. Ben Torres, 55, his weathered face etched with tears, coordinated deputies outside, his badge glinting. "Feds are 20 minutes out," he said, voice grim, gripping his pistol. "Lisa's at the hideout, Sarah. I swear I'm clean. My undercover days are done." Sarah's tears streamed, voice fierce. "Prove it, Ben. Save my dogs." The video of Ben with Lisa, overseeing Aegis, burned in her mind, but Scout's trust in him held her fire. Luna's growl echoed, weaker now, her pups stirring, and Sarah's tears fell, clutching Emily's arm. "Aspen's dying, Ben. We need time." The sanctuary's wild heart was a trap. Red Rock Valley's cartel activity, poaching, trafficking, now a direct assault. Emily's tablet pinged, a new feed showing the hideout, Ellis loading crates, Lisa aiming a rifle, their faces cold. "They're armed," Emily sobbed, tears streaming, voice trembling. "They'll kill for him." Ethan's voice was urgent, tears glinting. "We need to move Aspen. Surgery prep, now." Tara's laptop flashed. A pine net log. "Aspen. Prototype failure. Secure. Tonight." Sarah's tears fell, voice raw. "Failure." "He's fighting for his life!" Scout's bark erupted, his nose pointing to the enclosure's fence where a low hum sounded. A drone, its camera glinting, hovering over Luna's den. Down, Ben yelled, tears falling, firing, the drone crashing in sparks. Tara's voice was fierce, tears streaming. They're probing us. But headlights flared, two black vans crashing through the sanctuary's gate, operatives spilling out, rifles glinting with night-fang crescents. They're back! Emily screamed, tears streaming, grabbing a dart gun. Sarah's heart stopped, tears falling, firing a tranquilizer, its hiss lost in the chaos. Luna staggered to her feet, her growl a fading roar, jaws snapping as operatives breached the enclosure, one aiming at the den. Scout charged, tackling the shooter, his teeth sinking in, but a second operative grabbed a healthy pup, bolting for the van. Ethan fired a dart, tears streaming, voice raw. Not her babies. The pup dropped, unharmed, but Lisa emerged from the mist, her 60-year-old face icy, a shotgun raised. "The ninth, Lawson!" she barked, tears absent, firing a warning shot, dirt exploding near Sarah. Sarah's tears streamed, voice fierce. "You'll never touch him." Ben tackled an operative, tears falling, voice raw. "For Willow Creek." The twist hit like a cascade torrent. Luna's chip beeped, pulling a new file. A video, time-stamped yesterday, showing Lisa and Ellis at the sanctuary. But a third voice cut through. Tara Evans, directing the Aegis dose. Her journalist cover a lie. Sarah's blood froze, tears streaming, turning to Tara, whose face crumpled, tears falling. "Tara?" she choked, voice breaking, gun raised. "You're... Pinette?" Tara's sob tore free, tears streaming, hands up. "No, Sarah." "I was deep cover, FBI, infiltrating Lisa. I fed Ben intel." Ethan's voice was raw, tears streaming. "You knew about Aspen?" Tara's tears fell, voice fierce. "I'm saving him, Ethan. Scout trusts me." The dog's growl softened, his eyes on Tara, a bond unbroken. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "Prove it, Tara." "End this." The vans roared, operatives closing in, and Sarah knew Aspen's defect was a cartel secret, and Luna's fight was their only hope in a truth that would stun them all. The Willow Creek Sanctuary was a fortress under siege, its misty trails and pine-clad hills in Oregon's Cascade Mountains lit by the faint glow of dawn, now scarred by the violence of a cartel raid. Dr. Sarah Lawson stood in the shattered enclosure, her silver hair soaked with sweat, hazel eyes streaming tears as she gripped a tranquilizer gun, its weight a lifeline against the chaos. At 70, Sarah's retired biologist's hands shook. The fate of Luna's litter, 9 German shepherd pups, the 9th, Aspen, born with a malformed jaw, hanging in the balance. The Pine Net trafficking ring had struck, their night-fang operatives repelled by Luna's ferocity and Scout's courage, but their leaders, Dr. Mark Ellis and Dr. Lisa Bennett, had exposed a chilling truth. Aspen's defect was an Aegis serum byproduct, his chip a key to their experiments. Sheriff Ben Torres's past undercover role and Tara Evans's hidden FBI identity had fractured trust, leaving the sanctuary, a 200-acre refuge, a battleground. It was April 2025, and Luna's howls, weakened by a tranquilizer dart, echoed Sarah's dread. Inside the clinic, Dr. Ethan Brooks, the 50-year-old veterinarian, worked frantically over Aspen, his gray eyes bloodshot, tears streaming as he prepped the pup for emergency surgery, its translucent body barely stirring. "He's crashing, Sarah," Ethan said, voice raw, tears falling, adjusting the oxygen. "The jaw's blocking his airway. We operate now or lose him." Sarah's sob tore free, tears streaming, her voice breaking. "Save him, Ethan!" "Luna's counting on us." Luna, rescued from a Tennessee trafficking bust, had been a ghost until Shadow, a male shepherd, revived her spirit. Their litter was a miracle, but Aspen's survival was a war, and the cartel's trackers, 6 now, 1 in Luna's den, marked him as their prize. Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, stood guard at the clinic door, her dark hair loose, tears in her eyes as she clutched a tablet. "Luna's fading," she said, voice trembling, showing Luna slumped, 8 pups nursing, her amber eyes dull. "She's fighting for Aspen, Sarah." Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "She's a mother, Em." "We match her strength." Tara Evans, a 35-year-old journalist and undercover FBI agent, pored over pine net files, tears falling, her red hair tied back. "Ellis and Lisa are at the hideout," she said, voice grim, laptop open. "They're loading Aegis crates. Aspen's chip is their blueprint." Sarah's heart pounded, tears streaming, clutching the latest tracker, its camera lens smashed, but its signal haunting. "Why him?" she choked, voice shaking. Tara's tears fell, voice low. "His chip, it's live streaming Aegis mutations." "They need him to scale the serum." Scout, a sanctuary German shepherd, growled at the clinic window, his ears pinned, sniffing the mist. "What's got you, boy?" Ethan asked, tears hidden, peering out. Scout bolted, leading them to a trail, a 7th tracker, wired to a motion sensor, its signal pulsing to Nogales. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "They're everywhere," she said, crushing it, her hands shaking. Ben Torres, 55, his weathered face etched with tears, coordinated deputies in the yard, his badge glinting. "Feds are hitting the hideout," he said, voice grim, gripping his pistol. "I'm clean, Sarah. My undercover days were to stop Lisa." Sarah's tears streamed, voice fierce. "Prove it, Ben." "Protect my dogs." The video of Ben with Lisa overseeing Aegis lingered, but Scout's trust held her fire. Luna's growl, faint now, stirred her pups, and Sarah's tears fell, clutching Emily's arm. "Aspen's dying, Ben." "We need a miracle." The sanctuary's wild pulse was a trap. Red Rock Valley's cartel activity. Poaching. Trafficking. Now a direct assault. Emily's tablet flashed. A new feed showing the hideout, Ellis and Lisa arming crates, their faces cold. "They're ready to blow it," Emily sobbed, tears streaming, voice trembling. Ethan's voice was urgent, tears glinting. "Aspen's surgery, 30 minutes. We need to hold them off." Tara's laptop pinged, a PineNet log. Aspen, prototype failure, retrieve or destroy. Sarah's tears fell, voice raw. "Destroy." "He's a pup," Scout's bark erupted, his nose pointing to the enclosure's gate where a low rumble sounded. 3 black vans crashing through, operatives spilling out, rifles glinting with night-fang crescents. "They're back!" Emily screamed, tears streaming, firing a dart gun. Sarah's heart stopped, tears falling, aiming her tranquilizer, its hiss lost in the chaos. Luna staggered upright, her growl a fading roar, jaws snapping as operatives breached the enclosure, one aiming at the den. Scout charged, tackling the shooter, his teeth sinking in. But Lisa emerged, her 60-year-old face icy, a rifle raised. "The 9th, Lawson," she barked, tears absent, firing, a bullet grazing Ethan's arm, blood seeping. "Ethan!" Sarah screamed, tears streaming, firing a dart, hitting an operative, but Lisa advanced, rifle steady. Emily dove, tears streaming, shielding the den, voice raw. "Not her babies," Ben fired, downing a shooter, tears falling, voice fierce. "For Willow Creek." But a new operative grabbed a healthy pup, bolting for the van. Luna lunged, jaws crushing his leg, the pup dropping unharmed. but a second dart hit her, her legs buckling. Tara tackled another, tears streaming, voice fierce. "Hold the line!" Ethan, blood dripping, prepped Aspen, tears falling, voice raw. "I'm not losing him." The twist hit like a cascade quake. Aspen's chip beeped, pulling a new file. A video, time-stamped yesterday, showing Ellis, Lisa, and a new figure. Dr. Rachel Hayes, Sarah's old mentor, thought dead, her 65-year-old face cold, overseeing Aegis doses. Sarah's blood froze, tears streaming, turning to the team, whose faces crumpled, tears falling. "Rachel," she choked, voice breaking, gun wavering. "She's alive." "With Pine Net?" Tara's voice was raw, tears streaming. "She's the mastermind, Sarah, not Lisa. FBI missed her. She's running it." Ethan's tears fell, voice fierce. "She made Aspen a lab rat?" Scout's howl was primal, lunging at an operative, his jaws a vice, and Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "Rachel, why?" The vans roared, operatives closing in, and Sarah knew. Aspen's defect was a cartel creation, and Luna's fight was their only hope in a truth that would stun them all. The Willow Creek Sanctuary was a crucible of chaos, its misty trails and pine-clad hills in Oregon's Cascade Mountains lit by the flickering glow of dawn, now a battlefield scarred by a cartel's relentless assault. Dr. Sarah Lawson sprinted through the sanctuary's kennel yard, her silver hair matted with sweat, hazel eyes streaming tears as she gripped a tranquilizer gun, its weight a lifeline against the roar of gunfire. At 70, Sarah's retired biologist's hands shook. The fate of Luna's litter, 9 German Shepherd pups, the 9th, Aspen, born with a malformed jaw, hanging in the balance. The Pine Net trafficking ring had struck again, their Night Fang operatives targeting Aspen, whose Aegis serum-induced defect made him their key. Dr. Mark Ellis, Dr. Lisa Bennett and Dr. Rachel Hayes, the mastermind, had turned the sanctuary into a trap, with Sheriff Ben Torres's past and Tara Evans's FBI cover fraying trust. It was April 2025, and Luna's weakened howls echoed Sarah's dread. Inside the clinic, Dr. Ethan Brooks, the 50-year-old veterinarian, prepped Aspen for surgery, his gray eyes bloodshot, tears streaming as he fought to stabilize the pup's frail body, blood dripping from a graze on his arm. "He's fading fast, Sarah," Ethan shouted, voice raw, tears falling, hands steady on the oxygen mask. Sarah's sob tore free, tears streaming, voice breaking. "Keep him alive, Ethan. Luna needs him." Luna, rescued from a Tennessee trafficking bust, had fought for her pups, her black and tan coat bloodied from darts, now slumped in her enclosure, 8 pups nursing, her amber eyes pleading. Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, barricaded the clinic door, her dark hair loose, tears streaming as she clutched a dart gun. "They're coming!" she cried, voice trembling, tablet showing operatives breaching the hideout 10 miles away, Ellis and Lisa loading Aegis crates. Tara Evans, a 35-year-old FBI agent posing as a journalist, fired from a window, tears falling, her red hair tied back. "Feds are hitting the hideout," she shouted, voice fierce, laptop open. "Aspen's chip. It's the key to their serum." Sarah's heart pounded, tears streaming, voice raw. "They'll kill for him, Tara." "Hold the line." Scout, a sanctuary German Shepherd, growled at the door, his ears pinned, jaws snapping as headlights flared. 2 black vans roaring into the yard, Night Fang operatives spilling out, rifles glinting. "They're here!" Emily screamed, tears streaming, firing a dart, hitting one. Sarah's tears fell, voice fierce. "Protect the pups!" Luna staggered up, her growl a fading roar, lunging at the enclosure's mesh, jaws snapping as operatives aimed at the den. Ben Torres, 55, his weathered face streaked with tears, fired from cover, his badge glinting. "For Willow Creek," he yelled, tears falling, downing a shooter, proving his loyalty despite his pine net past. An operative breached the clinic, rifle raised, but Scout tackled him, teeth sinking in, his howl a war cry. Ethan shielded Aspen, tears streaming, voice raw. "I'm not losing you." Sarah fired, a dart hitting another, tears falling. But Lisa burst through the door, her 60-year-old face cold, a pistol aimed at Sarah. "The 9th, now!" she barked, tears absent, finger on the trigger. Sarah's tears streamed, voice fierce. "Never!" Tara lunged, tears falling, disarming Lisa, cuffs snapping, voice raw. "You're done." The twist hit like a cascade storm. Aspen's chip beeped, pulling a live feed from the hideout. Rachel Hayes, 65, Sarah's mentor, not there, but at the sanctuary, hidden in the pines. A sniper rifle aimed at the clinic. Sarah's blood froze, tears streaming, spotting her through a window. "Rachel?" she choked, voice breaking, gun wavering. "You're alive?" Rachel's voice crackled over a comm, tears absent. "Aegis is mine, Sarah. Aspen's proof. Hand him over." Ethan's tears fell, voice fierce. "You made him suffer." Scout's howl pierced the dawn, lunging at Rachel's shadow, jaws snapping, forcing her to flee. Sarah's tears streamed, voice raw. "You betrayed us." The vans roared, operatives retreating, and Sarah knew Luna's fight was their only hope, with Rachel's shadow looming in a truth that would stun them all. The Willow Creek Sanctuary was a crucible of fire and courage, its misty trails in Oregon's Cascade Mountains lit by the dawn's desperate glow, the air thick with gun smoke and the roar of federal choppers. Dr. Sarah Lawson sprinted through a pine forest, her silver hair matted with blood, hazel eyes streaming tears as she gripped a tranquilizer gun, dodging bullets that splintered bark. At 70, Sarah's retired biologist's hands shook. The fate of Luna's litter, 9 German Shepherd pups. The 9th, Aspen, born with a malformed jaw, fueling her fight. The Pine Net cartel had struck. Their Night Fang operatives repelled at the sanctuary, but Dr. Rachel Hayes, Sarah's mentor, had revealed herself as the mastermind behind the Aegis serum that deformed Aspen. It was April 2025, and the 200-acre refuge was a war zone, Luna's howls a rallying cry. At the cartel's hideout, 10 miles out, Dr. Ethan Brooks, the 50-year-old veterinarian, knelt over Aspen, his gray eyes fierce, tears streaming as he completed the pup's emergency surgery, blood staining his coat from a graze. "You're gonna make it, little guy," Ethan choked, voice raw, tears falling, suturing the jaw. Sarah burst in, tears streaming, voice breaking. "Ethan, is he—" Ethan's tears fell, voice steady. "He's stable, Sarah. Luna's pup's a fighter." Luna, rescued from a Tennessee trafficking bust, lay in the sanctuary, her 8 pups safe, her black and tan coat bloodied but her spirit unbroken. Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, fired a dart gun from cover, her dark hair loose, tears streaming as she shielded the hideout's entrance. "They're closing in!" she cried, voice trembling. Tablet showing feds breaching the bunker, Dr. Mark Ellis and Dr. Lisa Bennett cuffed. Tara Evans, a 35-year-old FBI agent, wrestled an operative, tears falling, her red hair wild. "Rachel's still out there," she shouted, voice fierce, laptop streaming, pine nets collapse. Sarah's heart pounded, tears streaming, voice raw. "She wants Aspen. We end this now." Scout, a sanctuary German shepherd, snarled at operatives, his jaws snapping, protecting Luna's pups, relocated to the hideout for safety. Federal agents stormed the bunker, their shouts drowned by gunfire, but Rachel's sniper shots from the pines pinned them down. "She's got us trapped," Ben Torres, the 55-year-old sheriff, yelled, tears streaming, firing back, his badge glinting. "I'm clean, Sarah. Let me prove it." Sarah's tears fell, voice fierce. "Do it, Ben. For Luna." Ben charged, tears streaming, tackling an operative, clearing a path. An operative breached the clinic, rifle raised, but Luna, smuggled in by Emily, lunged, jaws crushing his arm, her howl a mother's fury despite her wounds. "Luna!" Sarah screamed, tears streaming, firing a dart, downing another. Ethan shielded Aspen, tears falling, voice raw. "You're safe, pup." Tara cuffed the operative, tears streaming, voice fierce. "Feds have Ellis. Rachel's alone." But a new shot rang out, grazing Sarah's shoulder, blood seeping, her scream echoing. Rachel emerged, her 65-year-old face cold, a rifle aimed. "The chip, Lawson!" she barked, tears absent. Sarah's tears streamed, voice defiant. "You'll never have him." The twist hit like a cascade thunderbolt. Aspen's chip beeped, pulling a final file. A video, time-stamped hours ago, showing Rachel with a new ally. Agent Tom Reed, a Fed, his badge glinting, funneling Aegis to PineNet. Sarah's blood froze, tears streaming, spotting Tom among the agents, his pistol raised. "Tom?" she choked, voice breaking. "You sold us out?" Tom's face hardened, tears absent. "Aegis is power, Sarah. Aspen's mine." Ethan's tears fell, voice fierce. "He's Luna's!" Scout charged, jaws snapping, disarming Tom, his howl shattering the dawn. Tara fired, tears streaming, cuffing him, voice raw. "It's over!" Feds swarmed, Rachel fleeing, but Luna's pups, led by a healthy sibling, yipped, tripping her, their tiny forms a wall. Sarah collapsed, tears streaming, clutching Aspen, voice raw. "You did it, Luna." Ethan's tears fell, voice soft. "He'll live, Sarah." Emily hugged Ben, tears streaming, voice trembling. "We're free." The hideout burned. PineNet's crates ash, and Sarah's tears streamed. Luna's howl a victory, Aspen's heartbeat a miracle in a truth that stunned Willow Creek. Summer sunlight bathed the Willow Creek sanctuary, its pine trails and wildflower meadows in Oregon's Cascade Mountains blooming with vibrant life. The scars of spring's cartel siege now softened by hope. Dr. Sarah Lawson stood on a grassy knoll overlooking the newly expanded Luna Sanctuary, a sprawling haven of kennels, rehabilitation pens, and community spaces built from the ashes of their battle. At 70, Sarah's silver hair glowed in the breeze, her hazel eyes bright with a hard-won peace. The terror of PineNet's trafficking ring, targeting Luna's litter for their Aegis serum experiments, finally vanquished. Luna, their rescued German shepherd, lounged nearby, her black and tan coat gleaming, amber eyes soft as her 9 pups, now 3 months old, tumbled in the grass. Aspen, the fragile 9th, chasing his siblings with newfound strength. It was August 2025, and Red Rock Valley, once a battleground, pulsed with renewal, anchored by a dog's unbreakable spirit. The cartel's empire had crumbled in a fiery raid on their hideout, where Luna's ferocity, Scout's courage, and the team's resolve had exposed Dr. Mark Ellis, Dr. Lisa Bennett, and Dr. Rachel Hayes as PineNet's architects. Their Aegis serum, which caused Aspen's jaw defect, was seized, their network dismantled across Oregon, with Ellis and Bennett in federal custody and Hayes, the mastermind, facing trial. Sheriff Ben Torres's undercover past and Tara Evans's FBI role had tested trust, but their redemption saved dozens of children and animals. The sanctuary, funded by Pine Net's seized assets, stood as a testament to Luna's heroism and the community's healing. Sarah adjusted a microphone on the sanctuary's stage, her voice steady as she faced a crowd. Townsfolk, reporters, Native American elders, and rescued children, their eyes alight with hope. "This is the Luna Sanctuary," she said, tears glinting, "for Aspen, for the pups, and for Luna, who showed us miracles are born from courage." The crowd cheered, but Sarah's gaze was on Luna, nuzzling Aspen, his once translucent form now robust, his jaw healed by Ethan's surgery. Ethan Brooks, the 50-year-old veterinarian, joined her, his gray eyes warm, tears falling as he gripped Sarah's hand. "We almost lost him," he said, voice thick. "But Luna, she never gave up." Emily Carter, the 30-year-old education coordinator, stood nearby, her dark hair loose, tears streaming as she petted Scout. "She's family," she said, voice trembling. Sheriff Ben Torres, 55, his weathered face softened, held Tara Evans's hand, tears glinting. "Luna saved us all," he said, voice raw. Tara, 35, the journalist turned FBI agent, smiled through tears, her laptop now a beacon for justice. "She's a legend," she said, voice breaking. The rescued children gathered by a stone monument inscribed, "For the children and creatures of Willow Creek, April 30th, 2025, and their German Shepherd guardian, whose heart broke the dark." A girl, 13, named Lily, approached Sarah, her eyes clear, tears falling. "You saved us," she said, voice steady, hugging Emily, who'd become her mentor. Sarah's sob tore free, tears streaming, clutching her shoulders. "Luna did, Lily. You're home now." Aspen bounded over, his playful yips a melody, and Lily's tears fell, voice small. "He's like my brother, never quit." Luna nuzzled them, her warmth a bridge to healing, the pups' laughter a symphony of hope. The ceremony pulsed with life, Red Rock Valley's heart beating strong. Ethan took the stage, his voice resonant. "Pine Net stole our trust, but Luna rebuilt it," he said, tears falling. "Her instincts saw what we couldn't, protected Aspen and those kids when we were blind." He gestured to the kennels, where Shadow rested, Luna chasing her pups nearby. "This sanctuary's their legacy, a place for warriors to heal, for kids to find peace." The crowd roared, but a hush fell as Tara unveiled a mural, Sarah's design, painted in secret, of Luna, eyes fierce, guarding a pup, pines framing her form. "For my sister," Tara said, tears streaming, voice breaking. "And every soul we brought home." A twist unfolded as Ben stepped forward, holding a sealed journal, his voice steady. "This was Rachel's," he said, tears glinting, handing it to Sarah. "Found in the hideout, her confession." The crowd leaned in, tears flowing as Sarah opened it, her voice trembling as she read, "I made Aspen's defect, Sarah. Aegis was my sin, but Luna's love shamed me. Forgive me." Sarah's tears streamed, her heart twisting, the betrayal softened by Rachel's regret. "She tried to fix it," she whispered, tears falling, hugging Ethan. Emily's sob was raw, tears streaming. "Luna forgave her. Through Aspen." Tara's voice broke, tears falling. "She's free now." A final twist came as an elder, Clara, unveiled a native artifact, a 1975 carving found near the old sanctuary, depicting a German shepherd mother and pup, etched with "Guardians of the Cascades." "Our people knew," Clara said, tears glinting, voice resonant. "The dogs were chosen before Pine Net's shadow." Sarah's heart swelled, tears streaming. the carving proof of Luna's lineage, a protector born for this fight. "She chose us," she said, voice raw, gripping Emily's hand, Luna's eyes soft, steadfast. The ceremony closed with a drone display, Luna's tracks glowing in the sky, the crowd awestruck. Sarah stood with Ethan, Emily, Ben, and Tara, Luna at their feet, Aspen in her arms, Scout nearby. "We're whole again," Sarah whispered, tears falling, her husband's memory warm in her heart. Ethan's tears streamed, voice thick, "Because of her." Emily's hand found hers, tears glinting. "She's our heart." Ben hugged Tara, tears falling. "We did right." Lily joined them, tears streaming, a new daughter in their fold. The sanctuary's gates opened, visitors learning Luna's story, betrayal, heroism, and a mother's unbreakable bond. Sarah knelt by Luna, tears falling. "You're our soul, girl," she said, voice raw, Scout's bark echoing, Aspen's yips bright. The pain of pine net faded, replaced by love, Luna's loyalty a beacon for Red Rock and beyond. The cartel was gone, but Luna's light, courage, instinct, family shone brighter, a testament to a mother who rewrote nature's rules. This isn't just a story of survival, it's about loyalty, courage, and the unbreakable bond between a dog and her family. Luna, a rescued German shepherd, saw what no human could, protecting Aspen and countless others from a cartel's darkness with a mother's heart. Her fight shattered. Pine net, proving that even the smallest life can change the world. If this story moved you, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with someone who believes in the power of loyalty. Tell us in the comments, what's your story with a loyal pet? Join our community, because in Willow Creek and everywhere, the tracks of love never fade. Thank you for being part of this journey. Note, this is a fictional story crafted for entertainment and inspiration.